but over the last few years they've lifted their game, and I know as a grey old boy we'll see how unbiased you are, but I know you got some interesting stats and facts about this game.
Yeah, for sure, Brendan. Obviously, as a commentator, I'll be as unbiased as possible. As you mentioned, Garsfontein in their 30th anniversary this year. Last year, in 2017, they produced 20 provincial rugby players. And Grey College, of course, always littered in the Free State Cravenweek side. The oldest school north of the Orange River, you know, dating back as far as 1855. Produced the most Springboks since readmission in South Africa, boasting names like Koenie Oosthuizen, Adriaan Strauss, Bismarck du Plessis, and so forth, and looking to stamp early dominance in 2018 as well. Last year they had to settle for the number 2 ranking in South Africa behind the powerhouse Paul Boys High, and for Garsfontein today will be a great barrier of where their rugby program currently stands. It'll be their 8th game of the season already, where Grey College has only played against Welkom Gymnasium thus far. They beat Welkom Gymnasium by 49 points to 12 in Welkom, after leading at halftime by only 14 points to 12, as we see one of the starting lineups just flashing there past our screen. But yeah, very interestingly, Garsfontein full of individual brilliance. Diego Apollos, the number 13 centre, actually partnered old grey Ricus Pretorius in the SA school side centres last year. So have a look out for Diego Apollos. One thing that I'm really looking forward to during this game is the battle between the 2 number 9s. Ross Brody went to Cravenweek last year for Free State. He'll be starting at number 9 for Grey College. And then keep an eye out for number 9, Jurich Claessens from Garsfontein. I thought he had a brilliant game on Wednesday against Outeniqua. Garsfontein incidentally winning that one by 50 points to 22. So yeah, school steeped in tradition against Garsfontein, 30th anniversary. Young and upcoming school in rugby in South Africa, and it promises to be one of the highlights of the 2018 North-South Festival, Brendan.
Well, just take us through their team, and I'm sure people notice that some of the guys playing have some famous family.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it must be fun to be a Grey College coach. Wessel du Plessis is coaching a lot of former Springbok sons this year, so I'm sure he'll have a couple of whispers in the ear. Coming from the bench today will be Andre Hugo Venter, son of legendary Springbok Andre Venter, who played more than 70 tests for South Africa, the hard man of Springbok rugby in the 90s. And Andre Hugo, his son, will be playing at hooker. Like I mentioned, he'll be coming from the bench. At fullback for Grey, we have Rian Brits. Rian is the cousin of former Springbok lock Harry Brits, and it'll also be interesting to see what he can conjure up. Starting at number 5 today for Grey is Danwig Bekes, son of former Free State legend Joe. Joe played in the lock in more than 100 matches for the Free State. And then also at number 12, have a look out for Franco Smith, son of the former Springbok backline coach Franco Smith, and as of a couple of months ago, again the head coach of the Cheetahs. And Franco is also here today. We just had a chat with him before the game. So also following in their father's footsteps, a few of these Grey boys, as we see the Grey side getting ready to take the field just in front of us, Brendan.
With a surname like Small Smith, I presume brother of William?
Ian Small Smith, number 14, brother of William. William, of course, played in the centre for Grey College and has represented the Cheetahs and the Bulls in the Super 15. And interesting to note that Small Smith played in the centres last year for Grey College's under-16s. And he's since moved to the wing, as we see the 2 sides are going to take the field on opposing sides. And Garsfontein and Grey College waiting to take the field for an epic battle here at the North-South.
Quickly taking you through the Garsfontein first team, starting at 1, Braylon Brandt, Ricardo Botha, Gerard van der Merwe, Jordan van Dijk, Reinhard Roots, Johandre Buitendag, Etienne Terblanche, Junior Snyman, Jurich Claessens, Keegan Johannes, Drian Lerm, Martin Austin, Diego Apollos, Kali Kalitz en Jean-André Skeppers.
Ja, die 2 spanne is op die veld en gereed vir aksie. So sien hoe Garsfontein daar in 'n kringetjie bymekaar kom. Seker hulle is baie opgewonde vir hierdie stryd en die senuwees wat ook so 'n bietjie sal knaag. Grey College wat sal speel van links na regs in hulle tradisionele drag en Garsfontein wat sal speel vanaf regs na links en dit lyk ook asof hulle die wedstryd sal begin met die afskop.
Of course, Garsfontein in the turquoise, Grey College in the dark blue. I've always wondered, what is turquoise in Afrikaans?
Let's keep it at turquoise. And Garsfontein that will be starting their game, playing from right to left on your screens. And what a battle awaits. The individual brilliance of Garsfontein versus the collective effort of the Grey College side.
And here we go. Nice high kickoff. And Garsfontein get the ball back. Their left winger, Drian Larum. But he's shoved out. And Grey College will have the line out just outside their own 22.
Yeah, quality start there by Garsfontein. Kickoff unfortunately just going over the head of Danwig Bekes. And it is early feed in the line out. Well taken in the middle of the line for Grey College. Looks like the vet Marais that took that one in. As we see Ross Brody just scratching there for the ball. Brody puts in the box kick. It's one for Small Smith to chase as we see Yuri Claessen's totally taking his eye off the ball. Beautifully fielded by the hooker for Grey College. As it's Brody now out to Devet Marais with a carry in the midfield. Great start here for Grey College. Good carry by Devet Marais. Duplessis out to Flatour. Quick hands by the Grey College backline and some space down the left. Beautiful start, Grey College, and the bus is full. Great run down the left by Leslie Botha for Grey College. Very slick handling down the backs, Brendan.
Great work there from Grey College, and a good tackle from Carly Carlitz on the right-hand wing.
So we now see Ricardo Botha with a feed for Garsfontein on their own 22, under pressure early in the game. Good take by Garsies. Into the centres and a big carry up. Good defense though by Grey College. Looks like Tablanche. Big carry by Etienne Tablanche, and he gets the ball off to his flyers. It looks like the fullback John Ray Skippers with a little chip kick. And here's an early opportunity to Garsfontein. Oh, and unfortunately, ball lost forward with a try line beckoning. Beautiful start by both sides. Garsfontein attacking deep out of their own 22. Great carry up by Etienne Tablanche, and nearly had the first points of the game.
A great little chip back in field on his left foot. And that really was a try for the begging from Garsfontein. Would have been a wonderful start, but they have the opportunity of putting the Grey scrum under pressure, forcing the ball out in the 22. Let's see how the packs match up.
Altyd interessant, die eerste scrum van die wedstryd. Ross Brody wat die bal insit. En 'n soliede platform met Brody wat die bal kry. Hy is afgestorm en Garsfontein is oor. Nommer 8, Junior Snyman. Hy het ook 2-3 gedruk Woensdag teen Outeniqua. En wat 'n begin vir Garsfontein. 2 minute 45 sekondes verlede in die wedstryd. En Junior Snyman wat oorgaan. Garsfontein 5, Grey College 0.
Snyman coming quickly off the back of the scrum there, charging down Brody's kick. And it was an easy try at the end of the day for him. All he had to do was dive on the ball. Wow, what a start from the Pretoria team.
Yeah, Brendan, great start for them from Pretoria. And obviously that'll relax them quite a lot. Taking the lead against the much vaunted Grey College side. And a great start for the men from Pretoria. As a fly of Keegan Johannes lines up the conversion. So 5 meter binne die linkerkant se kantlyn is dit Johannes. Hy kom vorentoe. Het lyk of die bal van die kegel afgeval het daar. Kry die geleentheid om hom weer te stel. Sal so klein bietjie vinniger moet maak. Skop dit van die begin, 'n minuut om die skop te voltooi. Johannes kom vorentoe. Tref hom baie mooi. Ja, hy is tussen die pale deur. Wat 'n begin vir Garsfontein. 7 punte teenoor 0, 4 minute verstreke. En dit is nou Grey College wat baie vinnig hier in die wedstryd sal wil kom. Loskakel vir Grey College, Zander Duplessis. Verlede jaar ook so ongeveer 7 wedstryde vir die eerste span gespeel. En 'n hoë hangskop. Baie goed bemeester. Tog is dit Grey College wat lyk of hulle afneem. Brody kry hom uit na die eindste Du Plessis. Bal wat baie sterk opgeneem word deur Franco Smith. Goeie loopie daar deur die Springbok afrigter se seun. En dan is dit weer de Wet Maree wat baie bal dra vroeg in die wedstryd. Brody wat weer krap af vir die bal. Brody uit na Danwig Bekes. Skitterende verdediging deur Garsfontein. Brody, Zander Du Plessis. En dan is dit die man wat nie die aangee verwag nie. En ongelukkig lyk dit vir my na die 8ste man. W.J. Steenkamp wat daardie bal verloor het. En ek dink hy het verwag dat die uitgee gaan aan Wycliffe Latour, die nommer 13 center. And encouraging signs early for Garsfontein.
Yes, the grey backline, I think a bit deep there, not running onto the ball, and that generally results in a handling error. Garsfontein easily closed off the grey attack, and now they're on attack.
Erich Claessens with a feed, short ball. Good defense by Zander Du Plessis, the flyer for Grey College. Good momentum gained there from Garsfontein inside the Grey College half. And a big, strong carry once again by one of the Garsfontein forwards. And Grey College will definitely need to work on their defense early in this match. There's another big carry and big contact. There's a good defense this time by George Cronje, the number 4 lock for Grey College.
Apollos' kick charged down, but Claassen cleans up.
Little chip.
Dink over the top.
And this is Zander Du Plessis for Grey College. Can he get the ball away? Small Smith on the right-hand side, puts it boot. Chases on now here from Ian Small Smith. And he gathers the ball again. Beautiful inside pass to Zander Du Plessis. But I think the referee just wants to have a chat to his assistant. Was that final pass forward? And they're having a chat about it. And yes, the referee signals forward pass. But great work down the right-hand touchline by Ian Small-Smith. And Grey College very nearly replying instantly to Garsfontein's early lead.
Garsfontein's fullback, Jean-André Skeppers, not cleaning up as he should have. It bounced kindly for Grey. And it was only the forward pass that stopped that try. Grey do have the put-in, which seems interesting considering it was a forward pass.
Yeah, the referee definitely signaled that the pass went forward. Don't know whether it maybe came from a Garsfontein hand.
I think Jean-André Skeppers, as he tried to clean up there, knocked it on. So there was no advantage.
No advantage then to Grey College. Ross Brody wat die skram kan voer. Grey College met 'n skitterende aanvalsgeleentheid. Die hele veld na die linkerkant oop. En wat sal Grey hiermee vorendag kom? Brody na Du Plessis. Du Plessis wat 'n kort aangee na Wycliffe Latour. Skitterende verdediging deur Garsfontein. En hulle wat Latour as te ware terugdra daar. En word die bal opgedra deur een van die voorhye van Grey College, Brandon Matthews. En Brody dan wat hom uitkry na Franco Smith. Groot kontak weer eens op Franco Smith, maar hy doen baie goed om op sy voete te bly. Brody met 'n klein steekskoppie, was dit die regte opsie? Dit lyk of Garsfontein beheer het van die bal en dan 'n strafskop aan Garsfontein. En Garsfontein wat kan groot verligting bring. En 'n goeie stukkie aanvallende spel wat ongedaan gemaak word. Miskien deur die verkeerde opsie, Brendan.
Absolutely, and there, the lock, Jordan van Dijk, on his feet over the ball. Not a great clearance. They could probably have gained more ground there, but not a good connection from Keegan Johannes. But they do have the line-out throw. Ricardo Botha.
Most importantly, the kick did go into touch, and it's Ricardo Botha. Feeds the line out, and a good take by Jordan van Dijk out to Keegan Johannes. And he kicks it straight down the throat of Grey College's fullback, Rian Brits. And Brits with the opportunity to counter-attack the grade 11 boy. And a good run up the middle by Rian Brits. Picked up by one of the Grey forwards and into the hands of Zander Du Plessis. Zander Du Plessis just trying to set up another phase. Then gets the ball out to Ross Brody. Brody with another little dink forward and well covered by Martin Austin. Unfortunately, not a great clearance once again. And maybe this time a good option by Ross Brody. Wasn't a great ball that came back to him. And putting Garsies under more and more pressure is Grey College.
Most certainly. The scrum half and fly half have the responsibility of kicking into space when there's nothing else happening. Brody did extremely well there.
Grey College se skalk vermaak wat die bal in die lyn staan kan ingooi. Dis so 2 meter binne die kwartgebied. En 'n baie goed gerank. Daar's 'n Danwig Bekes vir Grey College. En dis bal is terug in die hande van Skalk vermaak. Grey wat sal probeer om die dryfmaal beweging aan die gang te kry. En dan doen hulle ook so hulle skil so effens na die regterkant toe. Garsfontein sal nou hulle keer moet ken. En kan ook nie van die kant af inkom nie. Skalk vermaak wat steeds die bal dra in 'n sterk posisie daar. Nou is dit Ross Brody wat die bal gaan uitkry na Zander Du Plessis in die hande van Franco Smit. Wycliffe Latour, groot kontak weer eens tussen Wycliffe Latour en Diego Apollos. Wycliffe Latour wat daardie ronde wen. Skitterende binne aangee deur Danwig Bekes na Cronje. En dan weer eens Garsfontein vinnig in oor die bal. En dan sit Grey College wat van die kant af skoon maak. En Garsfontein se verdediging wat hardnekkig hou op hierdie stadium. En Garsfontein steeds voor met 7 punte teenoor 0.
The locks, Bekes and Cronje, working nicely there. Back inside to his lock partner. But he was slightly isolated. And then Grey were forced to come in from the side to secure the ball. Garsfontein escape again.
Interestingly enough, we mentioned that Diego Apollos from Garsfontein did play for the SA school side last year. Keegan Johannes, the fly-off, also played at Craven Week. And in the 18 Academy Week, it was Braylon Brunt, Campbell Willemse, Stephen Billings, and Bjorken Hendricks all played in the Academy Week last year from Garsfontein. So a lot of Northern Transvaal representatives, or Blue Bulls as we know them, and a quality outfit, and they're making Grey College work hard at this stage, Brendan.
Absolutely. Still with the 7-0 lead. Botha finds his man easily there.
Ulrich Claessens gets it out to Keegan Johannes, and on a good attacking run was Diego Apollos. And this is the big man, Blanche, with big carrier. Oh, and there's a great player in some serious trouble. Got the head on the wrong side of the tackle, and he's been knocked out cold. We'll be looking to see if we can get a number pretty quickly for you, but his match is definitely over. Just got the head on the wrong side of the tackle, and Blanche went straight over the top of him. Is then a big number 7 flanker, Etienne Blanche, with another storming carry. Great to see some movement there already from the Grey College player. And Brendan, a lot of times those look worse than it really is. But some great medical attention received already. And they will definitely make sure that the right procedure is followed.
Yeah, I don't think there was any foul play involved. It's just one of those unfortunate incidents that happen in the game of rugby. And getting your head on the right side of the tackle is so important. Possibly connecting with the hip or a knee there.
Yeah,
I know at St. John's the other day we saw one of the players being stretchered off, but once again it was just precaution and he was on his feet within a few minutes. So let's hope that's the case here.
Ja, hier is een van daardie situasies wat soms baie erger lyk as wat dit is, maar geen kanse kan gevat word nie. As ons sien hoe Grey is plaasvervanger Pieter Dippenaar reeds op die veld verskyn en geen kanse sal gewaag word hier nie, alhoewel ons reeds beweging van die speler op die grond van Grey College kan sien. En gee dalk ook 'n oombliekie vir Grey College tot so effe tot verhaal te kom. Aan die begin van die wedstryd Garsfontein na 2,5 minute reeds die eerste punte aangeteken. Toe 'n skop van die skramskakel Ross Brody afgestorm is en Junior Snyman die 8ste man agter die palle gaan kuier het. Garsfontein wat steeds voor is met daardie 7 punte teenoor 0. We see the referee also having a chat to Ross Brody, the vice captain of Grey College. And probably just exchanging a few words on what happened. And we see the stretcher arriving on the field. We're very sure that the medical staff will follow all the correct procedures and make sure that the player's safety always comes first.
With Dippenaar coming in, could possibly be one of the loose forwards. I have seen 4 and 5 still on the field, or on their feet at least.
Yeah, it might be David Maree, although I can see the number 7. So it must be either V.A. Steenkamp or Reynaldo Gouveia. And
I think it's the 8th man, number 6 is on his feet.
Yeah, it's V.A. Steenkamp. receiving the attention at this stage. And that's a big blow for Grey College, as it's the highly rated 8-man VAS Steenkamp receiving all the attention at this stage. So we can see the lock forwards, George Cronje just having a chat there to his fellow forwards, and I'm sure they are telling each other we need to get on the front foot, we need to get some momentum going in this match pretty quickly.
While we've got some time, earlier today, Ege Jansen had a good come from behind victory against Durbanville. Monument also had to fight back against Stellenberg. And then Paul Gim getting one back for the South in the third match of the day against Waterkloof. So at this stage with the first teams, it's 2-1 to the North. Interestingly enough, I don't think they've generally been called a team from the South, but Grey will be representing the South, with Garsfontein, of course, a school from down the road.
Yeah, Garsfontein, this is very close to a home match, Brendan. They're literally just about 7 k's down the road here, if it's that much. And between themselves and Menlo Park, 2 of the newer generation rugby schools in South Africa, as we see the gents from Garsfontein cleverly just staying warm during this break. The Grey guys obviously showing a lot of concern for their teammate in 8th man VAS Steenkamp. So it's very important that the players clear their heads pretty quickly and carry on with the task of hand. Het lyk of die mediese personeel reg is nou om vir VAS Steenkamp vanaf die veld te dra. Seker hy sal 'n groot staande ovasie ontvang, en ook sê ons het baie sterkte aan sy gesin en ouers. Nooit lekker om jou seun so te sien nie, en seker dat die mediese personeel baie goed na VAS Steenkamp sal kyk, en kom ons hoop hy maak 'n spoedige herstel tot die veld.
Will Dippenaar slot in at 8 or possibly going to lock, and will one of the locks move to loose forward?
So interesting, it looks like he's going to slot straight into number 8. I'm just not 100% sure of the numbers, because I've got a feeling that it actually might be Werner Gous that's taken the field. He was originally in the starting lineup and then moved to the bench, the number 7 flanker. So it might even be Werner Gous that has just taken the field. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that Werner Gous is now on for Grey College in the number 19 jumper.
Good scrum from Garsfontein, they go blindside.
Claassen gets it out to Kali Karlitz. Karlitz has shown tremendous pace right throughout the tournament, but some great cover work by Grey College, and they were definitely caught napping down that blind side, with Junior Snyman picking it up, releasing Ulrich Claassen, and in his turn releasing Kali Karlitz, who showed amazing pace. Now it's Skalk for Mark to feed the line out for Grey College. Grey College under pressure in their own 22, trailing Garsfontein by 7 points to 0. Great take in the lane out by David Marais, and good defense as well. Ross Brody, Duplessis with the clearance. It's gone infield, it's not going to find touch. It's covered by Kali Karlitz. Karlitz on the counter attack, beats the first defenders, and Kali Karlitz still on his feet. Beautiful run by right wing Kali Karlitz for Garsfontein. Ulrich Claassen gets it away to Reinhard Roots. Strong carry by the lock forward of Garsfontein. Claassen once more goes for a little snipe around the fringe. Well covered by David Marais. And then it's a Grey College player quickly in over the ball. Ulrich Claassen still gets Keegan Johannes out in the hands of Diego Apollos, but he makes a mistake. And Wycliffe Latour, now Grey College on the counter attack. Unfortunately, that kick goes straight out into touch, and there could have been trouble for Garsfontein at that stage infield, Brendan.
Absolutely, I think Keegan Johannes deciding to skip his inside centre, going straight to Apollos. It was extremely difficult for the outside centre to take off his boot laces. He should have just moved it through the hands, and they might have had the overlap there.
Der Blanche wat afneem in die lyn staan vir Garsfontein. Garsfontein wat dryfmaalbeweging van stapel stuur, en hulle vorder dan ook baie goed met hierdie dryfmaalbeweging. Grey College se verdediging wat heeltemal disintegreer op hierdie stadium. Dan word daar losgebars deur Jordan van Dijk, en die bal wat ongelukkig vir hom verlore gaan, maar Grey College wat daardie dryfmaalbeweging afgetrek het grond toe, En Garsfontein wat 'n kans sal hê om die voorsprong verder te vergroot met Keegan Johannes wat gaan aanlê na die paal toe. Brendan, it's pretty interesting that Grey College has decided to start with quite a few of their reserves today, and the coach Vessel du Plessis obviously has a plan with that, and they would obviously like to stay in touch with Garsfontein at halftime. And at this stage, Garsfontein, good value for their lead, and if Johannes can slot this penalty, that lead will stretch to 10 points.
Grey have always been known to have a very good bench, and that's often been the difference throughout the years. Amazing strength that the boys from Bloem have right throughout their age groups. They're not too much of a difference. But Johannes.
And he's drifted that one to the right. It's a lucky escape for Grey College after pulling down the driving maul. And Garsfontein still leads after 20 minutes by 7 points to 0. Sander du Plessis met die 22 inskop vir Grey College. En die bal wat net binne die speelveld op en dan uitgaan baie naby aan die middelkolletjie. En dit sal Garsfontein wees wat kan ingooi so 2 meter binne die helfte van Grey College. En die eerste 20 minute die behoort aan Garsfontein. En Garsfontein se voorsprong op die stadium 7 punte teenoor 0. Garsfontein wat vinnig gooi in die lyn staan. Yuri Klaasen uit na Johannes. Nou in die hande van Junior Snyman. Goeie verdediging in die middelveld deur Sander du Plessis. Nou is die bal in die hande van Danwig Bekes. De Wetmaree wat mistas daar in Gouveia. Die bal nou in die hande. Ross Brody die gaan grawe daar as te ware vir die bal. Kry hom uit na Sander du Plessis. Sander du Plessis wat besluit om rigting te verander aan die steelkant. Sander du Plessis het steeds die bal in hand en 'n goeie loopie deur die losskakel. Nou is daar so 'n bietjie momentum in die spel van Grey College. Opgedra deur die slotkronje, maar ongelukkig word die bal vorentoe verloor deur Brandon Matthews. En ongelukkig Grey College nog 'n belovende stukkie spel wat tot niks lei nie. En heeltemal te veel ongedwonge foute op hierdie stadium aan die kant van Grey College.
Absolutely, they're doing very well up to a point. Some brilliant individual runs from their backline players. But just being a little frantic at this point. Maybe they should slow things down a little. Garsfontein with the scrum on the halfway line.
Brendan, while we've just got a short break with the referee chatting, we mentioned a lot of the old box of Grey College. Of course, the son of the former Lions coach, Ruan Ackerman, old boy of Garshies, currently plying his trade at Gloucester in England. And sure, he might be catching this live feed as well. As we see Yuri Klaasen's playing to the blind side. Keegan Johannes finds Yuri Klaasen's again. And Yuri Klaasen's doing very well to get that offload away. And Grey College is the Wetmaree coming through there with a kick. Well fielded though by Etienne Tablanche for Garsfontein. And another loose ball at the back of the ruck for Garshies. Well covered though by one of the forwards. It looks like number 6, Johandre Buitendag. Keegan Johannes puts the ball in. Franco Smith in the way. Here's an opportunity for Franco Smith and Wycliffe Latour. Keegan Johannes falling back beautifully after his own mistake. Taking it over his own line in a 5-meter attacking scrum to Grey College. And another mistake in this match by Keegan Johannes. And just too much kicking out of hand, looking for funny things. And Grey College with an attacking opportunity now after 23 minutes in the first half.
That grubber was certainly ill-advised. The chip over the top, possibly a better option. Generally, those grubbers find the feet of the defence. And Franco Smith almost in there. But Johannes did clean up, but took the ball over his own line. Perfect position for Grey to strike.
Skitterende aanvallende geleentheid nou. So sien hoe Ross Brody die bal in die skram sit. Gaan hulle die steelkant gebruik? Ja. Dis die jagste man wat optel na Brody. Brody uit na Small Smith. En Small Smith aan die buitekant, hy's oor. Skitterend en eenvoudig. Die goeie 8-9-14 gedoen deur Grey College. Opgedel deur Gous uit na Ross Brody en Brody wat blitsvinnig uitgee na Small Smith. En Ian Small Smith net so sy pa 'n spoedvraat en hy eindig in die hoek. Interestingly, Brendan, Ian Small Smith's father was the South African champion in the 400 meters. Ian Small Smith, and they had loads of pace, obviously, but it looks like his son is following his footsteps with that.
No surprise that they moved him from outside centre to the wing. Once he got the ball there, he was always going to score that try.
He's under the casino now. He's going to attempt to stop that. He's under the casino. Very straight approach to the ball. Almost a la Bram van Straten. And unfortunately that one skews off the boot and away to the right as Grey College claws their way back into this match. Garsfontein leading after 25 minutes by 7 points to 5.
Quick restart. Well taken.
Well taken in by George Cornier for Grey College. And a great volley through Brody. Now the hands of De Wet Marais with a little stand through, but beautifully covered by Ulrich Claessens. And then there was a big contact between Ulrich Claessens and it looked like Van der Goes, and he's also stayed down, as is Ulrich Claessens. As the rain starts coming down here in Pretoria with Diego Apollos and Wycliffe Couture. Awesome battle between these two number 13s. Looks like Wycliffe Couture might have gone in a little bit high. As you see Van der Goes hobbling back to his feet. But Ulrich Claessens, the number 9, also being held back on his feet now. The number 9 of Garsfontein. As penalty awarded for that high tackle by Wycliffe Couture. And Grey College were on the attack in the 22, and Garsfontein managing to escape. So 7 points to 5, Garsfontein leads. About 4 minutes left in this first half, and it's been a pulsating affair. Lots of mistakes by both sides, but lots of good play in between. As our crews are friendly enough to just pass it with some Madeas. Grey College taking the ball in that line out. Now an opportunity, but Goes unfortunately leaves it behind. And it's kicked through by Johannes. Brits will do the cover work for Grey College, and very well done by the fullback. Ross Brody quickly there. And he kicks with the outside of the foot. And here's an opportunity on the bounce. Well covered though, it looks like Kali Karlitz. And he's feeding his scrum up. Yuri Claessens back to Kali Karlitz. And now the ball back in position for Grey College. Was left winger Leslie Botha getting the position back there for Grey College. Sander du Plessis now taking the contact on his own and then losing the ball forward. Now it's at right wide, number 7, Etienne Blanche with a carry again for Garsfontein. Ulrich Claessens. Hy versprei die bal en opgedra deur Austin. Weer in die hande van Ulrich Claessens, nou in die hande van Diego Apollos. Die man is baie gevaarlik en dan van Diego Apollos. Apollos Ian Smith, Apollos scoor. Skitterende werk, Diego Apollos. Reeds baie oor hom gesels, voormalige SA skole vlak verlede jaar. En Diego Apollos wat agter die doel uit gaan kuier. En weer eens 'n fout van Grey College wat uitgebuit word. En Garsfontein is bitter gevaarlik op die teenaanval. Garsfontein wat die voortou verder nou strek. Garsfontein 12, Grey College 5.
Apollos showing what he's capable of there. He had the man on the outside, he dummied, went back inside. Small Smith was there, but his strength took him over the line. For Garsfontein's second try of the afternoon.
Yeah, Keegan Johannes will have another difficult conversion attempt coming up. About 2 meters inside the left-hand touchline. Should he be successful, he will stretch Garsfontein's lead to 14 points to 5. Previous attempt from the left-hand side, he pushed past the right-hand upright. Johannes coming forward. And then the ball falls down again. It'll have to go for the drop kick. And unfortunately, that slides to the right of the post again. So, with a minute and a half left in the first half, Garsfontein leads Grey College by 12 points to 5. And Brendan, we have to say at this stage, a well-deserved lead.
Absolutely. I think Grey have had more possession, but they aren't utilising it as well as Garsfontein are.
Ek sien met die afskop vir Grey College. Ingeneem deur Junior Snyman vir Garsfontein. Dan wie weet is wat vinnig by is daar vir Grey College. Drie Klaasens met die skop. Dis die Botha wat vorentoe kom vir Grey College. En op jou ene lyk dit na of die bal bemeester is deur Grey College en David Maree het op die stadion besit. Baie naby aan die oorkantse kantlyn doen Maree goed om die bal binne veld te hou. Dan is dit Werner Gous terug na Brody. Franco Smit. En dan was al lang oorslag aangee. En 'n harde kontak in die middelveld. Dit lyk of Rian Brits uit die aarde het geloop is. Ongelukkig het hy glad nog hierdie bal gehad nie. En strafskop aan Grey College. Met so about 15 sekondes in die helfte oor. Die lynstaan sal definitief plaasvind. En dan is dit so waar Zander Du Plessis wat aandui dat hy gaan pale toe skop. Ongeveer 7 meter binne sy eie halfgebied. En hierdie is 'n reuse poging, Brendan.
Looks like the wind has changed direction from earlier today. That's probably why he is taking it, but still, this will be a massive kick. He's lining it up almost horizontal to the ground.
And of course, Grey College, over the last few years, has produced quite a few very good goal kickers. So let's see what Zander Du Plessis can bring to the table. Kick of about 56 meters.
I suspect Francois Steyn would have attempted this as well.
Du Plessis coming forward. Strike is pure. Oh, and he hits the upright. What a kick. What a kick by Zander Du Plessis. And then the ball is lost forward. Looks like Martin Alston. And then lost that ball forward for Garsfontein. And the referee says that we can still have the scrum. But Brendan, what a strike by Zander Du Plessis. And Garsfontein will now know they cannot make them any mistakes, even 60 meters out.
They would have cleared the crossbar by about 5 or 6 meters. Struck that beautifully. And then unfortunately for Garsfontein, the handling error on their own line.
Skitterende geleentheid nou hier vir Grey College. Hulle sal baie graag 'n punte wil aanteken voor halftyd. Hierdie stadium by agterstand van 12-5. Brody, die slag na die oopkant, Zander Du Plessis. Zander Du Plessis op sy eie en Zander Du Plessis oor die bale. Skitterende aftrap hierdie loskakel. Ek dink Garsfontein het gewag vir die lang aangee na Whitecliff vertoon. En Zander Du Plessis skitterend vanaf die linkervoet afgetrap onder die pale. En die tellings gaan gelyk wees rustyd. Brendan, perhaps well-deserved 12-all going into the break. So all our papers are flying everywhere in this win in the commentary box. Well taken, Brendan. Like to have you in the slips next to me in our next cricket match. But perhaps well-deserved to both sides, 12-all.
I was going to say, maybe Du Plessis aimed for that upright to eventually give himself the opportunity to score under the poles and convert. He's been threatening all day. He's eventually got the try that he probably deserves.
Interestingly enough, we've still got about 2.5 minutes of play left. The clock was just stopped at a stage, but it is 35 minutes a half here at the Noord-Suid Festival. As the Grey College loses the ball from the kickoff. And the clock, George Grenier, that went up there. But it looks like Garsfontein also got a hand into that and lost the ball forward. And at this stage, the rain now bucketing down here at Menlo Park as the commentators and all the spectators are taking cover. Those on the grandstand, the lucky few that the rain is coming straight from the ground, from the grandstand. That's Brody wat weer die bal voert vir Grey College.
The microphone.
Probeer van die steelkant
The microphone.
Skopie deur. Die ander skepers hier agter van Garsfontein goed geposisioneer. Dit lyk of skepers met 'n teenaanval wil begin. En hy raak geslaag met eerste Klaasens vir die bal weer bewerkstellig vir buitendag. Buitendag die word opgedop hier op sy eerste plein. Klaasens wat weer die bal kry en dan 'n quick shoulder vir die verdedigers en Brody wat agterna sit. Maar baie goed opgetel deur Zander Du Plessis. Die bal wat natuurlik nou die kant daar trek hier. Hier spiek Jesper Smit. Briljant. En dan die bal aan die binnekant wat ongelukkig verlore gaan. Maar Ian Small Smit lyk baie gevaarlik wanneer hy die bal in hande kry. En ook skitterende werk gedoen deur die loskakel vir Grey College, Zander Du Plessis. Maar soos ek genoem het, hierdie twee stryd tussen die skramskakels, Brendan, Yuri Klaasens en Ross Brody, een van die hoogtepunte van die eerste helfte sover.
Most certainly, both backlines have lots of pace, guile, determination and creativity.
And it's the rain now still bucketing down. We had some rain earlier this afternoon to Johannesburg side, and it looks like it's reached Pretoria now, and bucketing down with the scores tied at 12-all. About 15 seconds left till half time, as it is Yuri Klaasens. Good scrum by Garsfontein, and it's carried out by Martin Austin, but it's well taken by Zander Du Plessis in the hands of Franco Smith, and he unfortunately holds on just that a little bit too long. Wycliffe Latour was in for all money. Did he get that offload away? And unfortunately just held on a tad too long, and a try that's got a begging. But what work once again by Zander Du Plessis.
Du Plessis is running the show at the moment. He put Franco Smith away. All he needed to do was feed Latour, and they would have been over for their third try. He held on for that second too long. The ball did go backwards, but it was knocked on by an oncoming player. Garsfontein will hope to kick this ball out and end the half.
It's in the hands of Johannes now with a long kick downfield, and he is going to find touch. And what does the referee say? Looks like we're still going to have this one line out before half time. And the score's tied at 12-all. Bray unfortunately lost their eighth man during this first half, via Steenkamp. He was replaced after about 15 minutes of rugby. We think that he might have suffered quite a heavy concussion, and we try to give you some feedback after half time. That is Hooker Skulk for Mark, getting ready to feed the line out for Gray. The rain still bucketing down, and it's stolen by Garsfontein at line out time. Gray still putting Garsfontein under huge pressure in this last 5 minutes. Ball goes out to that man, a big carry again by Etienne Tablanche. Gouveia hanging on for dear life. Into the hands of Keegan Johannes. It's taken back, so he can't kick it directly out. Well covered by Leslie Botha for Grey College. Now in the hands of fullback Rian Brits, and he spots some space behind Jean-Ray Skeepers. Beautiful kick by Rian Brits. He chases Garsfontein back into their own 22. And a great touch finder by the Grey College fullback. En Grey College terug waar hulle wil wees. En hulle boer op die stadium in die helfte van Garsfontein. En sit die span van Pretoria onder geweldig gedruk.
There was about a 7 or 8 minute stoppage due to the injury. So the referee is playing injury time here.
And another line-up, well taken by Garsfontein. They are under pressure at this stage from Grey College. But then the ball pops out on Grey College side. Beautifully picked up by Zander Du Plessis. This man is having a huge first half for his side. Now it's Brody being caught in a bit of possession there. But Grey College seem to have recovered the ball again. And then it's Julius Snyman getting away with the ball for Garsfontein. Yuri Klaasen feeding it, looks like Apollos. And Ian Small-Smith back to cover for Grey College. With him is fullback Rian Brits. Small-Smith decides to take on the defense, and he's done beautifully. Great run, well-balanced run by Ian Small-Smith. Grey College slowly but surely taking control here at the North-South. And then nearly intercepted by Garsfontein. But the referee says that was lost forward by Garsfontein. And eventually the referee does say that's half-time.
After the attempted interception, the ball ended up in Latour's hands, but it also went forward.
And still not half-time. Referee definitely allowing even more injury time. Different than most school rugby games here at the North-South. We play actual time of 35 minutes. So with injuries, it is stopped. It's no running time. And we are into added time in the first half.
With the score 12-all, I think both would be happy to take half-time.
Ross Brody, Grawe, kry vir Zander Du Plessis. En dan sit Franco Smith nadat Zander Du Plessis die bal agter toe verloor. Sterk bly Franco Smith op sy voete. Dan word hy so effe teruggedra deur die Garsfontein verdediging. Ons Brody wat weer grawe vir die bal. Kry die bal daar uit in die hande van een van sy voorspelers. Maar weer een skitterende verdediging deur Garsfontein. Draas te ware die Grey College speler terug. Lyk na David Maree wat nou die bal opgetel het daar vir Grey. En die bal wat stadig uitkom, maar toch wel uitkom aan die kant van Grey College. Nou sit Zander Du Plessis weer eens wat so 'n bietjie rondmistas aan die bal. Nou is Franco Smit deur 'n skaping. Skitterend in die hande van Ian Smit. Steekskoppie vorentoe deur Smit en nou hang dit af van die bons van die bal. En nou so 'n bietjie sokker wat nou gespeel word daar, dan is die bal wat opgetel word. Maar ongelukkig weer eens 'n klein aanslaan deur Garsfontein. En Brendan, dit is Garsfontein nou onder geweldige druk in die laaste 10 minute van hierdie helfte.
The ball has become impossible to handle, like a piece of soap. There's a handling error every second pass. And will Grey use this opportunity to take the lead before halftime? Time to keep it tight, keep it with the forwards. No long skip passes.
Ons vrou die nommer 9 vir Grey College uit na Zander Du Plessis. Du Plessis met so 'n klein steekskoppie vorentoe. Weer eens wat gaan gebeur met die bons van die bal? Dit lyk of dit Kali Kalits was wat baie goed gedoen het daar vir Garsfontein. En Hans het 'n strafskop aan Grey College en vinnig geneem. Die skeieregter sê ongelukkig dit was nie van die merkie geneem nie. En dit lyk of Kali Kalits daar die bal op die grond vasgehou het vir Garsfontein. Met Grey College se strafskop nou so 6 meter vanaf die Garsfontein doellyn. En wat gaan Grey voor 'n dag kom hier?
Finally the hooter has gone. Grey surge towards the line.
David Maree nou vir Grey College. Hy's baie naby aan die doellyn. Nou moet Grey College net geduldig wees. Rosbrody, Zander Du Plessis in die hande van Wycliffe Latour en verspot maklik Wycliffe Latour. Dit was net geduld nodig vir Grey College daar. En die laaste 10 minute se volgehoue druk, die betaal uiteindelik vir Grey College. En Wycliffe Latour wat verlede jaar ook vir die Vrystaatse Kryweek span diens gedoen het, gaan oor en Grey College neem die voortou vir die eerste keer hierdie wedstryd met 17 punte teenoor 12. En na hierdie doelskop deur Zander Du Plessis sal dit dan ook halftyd wees. And Brendan, a great comeback in that first half for Grey College.
Absolutely, these last few minutes in the rain, they've played the solid, clever rugby and most certainly dominated since Garsfontein scored their second. Well done to our technical crew for keeping the pictures live to you. Everything is drenched and generally electricity and water don't go well together.
Beautiful kick by Zander Du Plessis, especially in this weather condition. So Grey College take the lead just before halftime. And at halftime here in the North-South tournament, it's Grey College 19, Garsfontein 12. Exciting first half, Brendan.
Absolutely. Both teams showing that they've got solid forward packs, but exciting backs. And I would say that Du Plessis has been the man so far in this first half, controlling things, running extremely well with the ball, but also distributing well. And he has a cannon of a boot. A wonderful all-round player, the Grey fly half.
Ja nee, definitief op hierdie stadium dink ek die verskil tussen die twee spanne. Zander Du Plessis die loskakel van Grey College.
He gets ready for Saturday morning cricket an hour before he has to. He practices his swing, telling anyone who'll listen that one day he'll face the best cricketers in the world. His dad hasn't told him yet that they've got tickets to the upcoming test match. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your son's dreams possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
Exactly. See, I don't want to put another umbrella here because then I can see nothing on the field. But we're probably going to stand anyway, so let's put another umbrella.
It's got another strap there.
Is it?
Yeah, further up.
Ja, rof. Rof. How did you manage to?
Yeah, I just taped it. He taped it down.
You got more tape?
Yeah.
Just tape that off. We should be fine.
It sticks.
Good. And we welcome you back here to High School Menlo Park in Pretoria, the North-South Rugby Tournament, Day 2, and it's Grey College of Bloemfontein versus Garsfontein. Half-time score, Grey College 19, Garsfontein 12, and it's fly-off Zander du Plessis getting the game started again for Grey College. Very well contested at the kick-off by Grey College, and it looks like they've retained their possession. That'll be Ross Brody, and he gets the ball away to Herman Achenbach, who's come onto the field at half-time as Achenbach, and have a look out for him as well. Powerful prop forward for Grey College. Well covered, the kick by Leslie Botha, the left wing for Grey College, and he goes on the counter-attack and gets a little ball away to Davet Marais. Davet Marais finding a lot of space, and then unfortunately the ball goes loose, but it's still in the hands of Grey College. Carried up by lock George Cronje. Ross Brody gets possession again into the hands of Zander du Plessis, and he puts the ball to boot and nearly gets first to it as well. It looks like Garsfontein now has regained possession, and it's into the hand of Etienne Blanche, but he's well tackled inside his own 22, and the penalty goes the way of Grey College. Garsfontein just sealing off Etienne Blanche, caught with ball in hand and running sideways. Ter Blanche wat 'n monster eerste helfte gespeel het vir Garsfontein, en Grey College wat vroeg in die tweede helfte kans kry om die puntetelling verder te vergroot. Grey College op die stadium voor met 19 punte teenoor 12, en hy een van die groot sterre van haar eerste helfte. Grey College se loskakel Zander du Plessis gaan kyk of hy 3 punte op die tellbord kan byvoeg. Brendan, quite an interesting half-time there. Running repairs to the commentary box in this rain, and look like we're all set up at this stage to bring you live footage of Grey College versus Garsfontein. No problems for du Plessis as he adds the penalty, and Grey College now lead Garsfontein by 22 points to 12. Interessant om te sien wat sy plaasvervangers allemaal op die veld gekom het in 1,5 tyd. Ons het reeds vir Herman Aggebach gesien wat op vaskop voorry opgekom het vir Grey College. En kyk gerus, hou die man gerus. Groot sterk vaskop voorry van Grey College, Herman Aggebach. So bijna is het Garsfontein waar die afskop afneem en dan is het toch in die hande van Garsfontein. En hier is 'n goue geleentheid vir hulle om vinnig weer terug te slaan.
Looks like it was a short, sharp, half-felt shower, but everything is drenched here.
Jurich Klaasens, Keegan Johannes wat skitterend doen om maar die bal op te tel. En dan ontduik hy ook die eerste verdedigers. Nou is dit weer 'n sterk loopie deur een van die Garsfontein voorspelers. Bal baie goed op die grond bemeester. Garsfontein met skitterende aanvalsgeleentheid hier vroeg in die tweede helfte. Dan is dit Grey College wat baie vinnig oor daardie bal inbeweeg. Tog is dit weer Klaasens uit na Johannes. Johannes met 'n fop aangee en hy gaan op sy eie. Garsfontein wat baie druk nou op Grey College verdediging plaas. Dan is dit weer Etienne Terblanche wat die bal opneem. In die hande nou van Johan Buitendag. Garsfontein so 5 tree vanaf Grey College se doellyn. En dan is dit Garsfontein ongelukkig vir die bal vorentoe verloor. Goeie verdediging deur Grey College op hulle eie doellyn. En daardie was 'n groot oomblik in die wedstryd met Garsfontein op die stadium 10 punte agter.
Despite the wet ball, Garsfontein doing brilliantly up to that point. Keeping the ball in hand, not going down to ground, keeping it alive. And unfortunately, the prop coming through at pace, knocking the ball on.
Brendan with a little break in play. I'd just like to once again thank Liberty Life for their sponsor, making sure that we can bring you these pictures live from Pretoria. And I'm sure a lot of old boys of both schools is using this opportunity to watch this game live all across the world on on School Sport Live on YouTube. And yesterday School Sports Live channel got to the millionth hit since its inception in 2015, something truly special. And congratulations to Rowan Rolfe and his team on their millionth hit. Something special, Brendan.
Absolutely, great to be part of it. Bringing schoolboy rugby from around the country to people all around the world. A lot of old boys overseas. If you are overseas, message us. Let us know where you're watching.
Ross Boudy, die skramskakel van Grey College wat regmaak om die skram te kan voer so 5 tree vanaf Grey College se doellyn. Skeieregter nie heeltemal gelukkig daar nie en hy vra die manne om die skram weer te sak. Brody, die skramskakel van Grey College wat verlede jaar ook vir die Vrystaatse Kruiwenweek span diens gedoen het. Ook die onderkaptein van Grey College, as ons sien, Werner Gous vir die bal optel agter die skram. En dan is dit ongelukkig hier aangee na Franco Smit wat verlore gaan. En Garsfontein dadelik terug op die aanval. Jurich Klaasens vir die bal uitkry, het lyk na Martin Austin. 'n skitterende loopie. Skeieregter wat sê geen voordeel aan Garsfontein. En hy kom terug na daardie verbroude aangee deur Werner Gous. En nou kyk na vaste skram weer so 6 meter vanaf Grey College se doellyn. Garsfontein Beere wat nou groot druk uitoefen hier op Grey College vroeg in die tweede helfte. Nadat Zander Du Plessis die voorsprong vergroot het met 'n strafskop.
As they pack down for the scrum, a quick update from the Wanderers. Australia 64 for 3. The 3 replacements, Renshaw, Burns and Hanscom, are out. Philander with 2 wickets and Rabada with the other. South Africa earlier 488, so looking extremely good for the Proteas. Let's hope this rain we've just had doesn't work its way down there.
As we see another little break in play with Garsfontein firmly on the attack inside Grey College's 22, and most of the back line lined up to the right, but there is a pretty big blind side to work with, and interesting to see what Garsfontein will conjure up here. Perhaps a training ground move coming up here, Brendan.
Well, perfect situation for that. You've got one man on the blind side there, possibly the 8th man breaking off left, feeding the scrum off with the left winger in the corner. There's only one defender that side, so it might be the way to go.
Larson's waiting to pick up at the back of a very dominant Garsfontein scrum. And the free kick comes and can only scrum 1.5 meters. And a very lucky Grey College to escape there. Beautiful scrum there by Garsfontein. As it's now Keegan Johannes who slips over and caught in possession by Grey College. Gouveia is straight in over the ball and getting the turnover for Grey College. Beautiful work. As now it's in the hands of Achenbach. And then a big run. It looks like Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Keep an eye out on him as well, the loose head pop for Grey College. As it's a little dig through by Ross Brody. And the ball extremely difficult to control. But very well done there by the wing for Garsfontein. Oh, and then some big contact between Danwig Bekes. And it looked like to Blanche in the midfield. And then Blanche with another carry. Here's some space. Looks like Kali Khalid's going back. This man's got some wheels. And into the traffic goes Kali Khalid. Gets the pass away beautifully. Then into the hands of Ian Small-Smith for Grey College. He loses the ball forward. And some helter-skelter stuff here at the North-South. Keegan Johannes gets the ball out wide to Austin. Austin with a kick. And it looks like Leslie Botha, the left wing for Grey College, trying to commit. Then Diego Apollos losing the ball forward for Garsfontein. And back into the hands of Grey College. There goes that man, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, once again. Then Ross Brody with another drink through. Oh, and Diego Apollos just throwing that ball away wildly. And throwing it forward in that way. And just a bit of over-exuberance by Diego Apollos. That is actually quite shocking inside his zone 22, Brendan.
Well, a breathless passage of play there. The ball being turned over a number of times. The ref allowing good advantage. But Apollos, he was moving back towards his own try line and flinged the ball behind him, which meant it went forward. Should probably have looked to kick it back over his head there. Gray in a good situation. Garsfontein, of course, had that great scrum, which they were penalised for because they went more than 1.5 meters. So we'll see if they still dominate this scrum.
Grey College met 'n hele nuwe voorry. Scrum wat die keer grond toe gaan. Aan die hande van Du Plessis. Dan sit Fletoor met 'n skerp beweging. Bal baie goed opgedra deur Whitecliff Fletoor sover vandag. Ross Brody aan die binnekant. Skitterende werk deur Grey College se pak voorspelers. Brody uit na Danwig Bekes. Bekes na Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Wessels uit na Leslie Botha. En Leslie Botha. Grey College skitterende werk. En Grey College wat hulle voorsprong nou verder vergroot. Telling op hierdie stadium 27 punte teenoor 12. Brendan and Grey College just turning the taps open at this stage.
Some of the reserves coming on and making a big difference.
Ja, Grey College wat hulle hele voorry vervang het op halftyd. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Herman Achenbach en Andre Hugo Venter wat nou in die tweede helfte op die veld is. Andre Hugo Venter natuurlik die seun van voormalige Springbok Andre Venter en groot eysterman van Suid-Afrikaanse rugby gewees. En dit lyk of die nuwe voorry van Grey College en die varsbene op die veld reeds 'n groot verskil gemaak het.
Absolutely, Du Plessis hoping to add the extra 2. That will take it up to 24-12. Should I say 29-12?
And he's been striking the ball beautifully today as Xander Du Plessis. And he adds the extra 2. Grey College leading Garsfontein from Pretoria by 29 points to 12. And slowly but surely taking control of this match. And Garsfontein desperately needs to be the next side to score. Brendan, interestingly enough, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, the loose head prop currently for Grey College, played at lock for the under-16 A side last year. And coaching staff Wessel Du Plessis, Vian de Pre and Tevis de Bruin decided to move him to loose head prop, and so far so good. As Grey College break away with it again, and the kick down the right-hand side. Jandre Skip is now falling back for Garsfontein. And gets it into the hands of Keegan Johannes, who will try and clear the pressure. And a very good kick by fly of Keegan Johannes. Leslie Botha, though, taking it quickly into the hands of Rian Brits, and he comes back into the hands of Leslie Botha. And here's some space. Hanging on grimly was the Garsfontein defense. And then just the extra offload once again, going to ground. Difficult conditions after the amount of rain we had in the first half, Brendan.
Very difficult at this stage. Thankfully the rain has stopped. But the ball's extremely slippery. He did, however, get man and ball there at the same time. Tough to hold on in that situation. Garsfontein want to work their way up field now. Could possibly put it into one of the corners.
Yuri Klaasens met die ingooi vir Garsfontein. Goeie skram daar deur Grey College, Keegan Johannes. Uit in die hande van die gevaarlike Apollos. Apollos met 'n lang aangee en hier's baie spasie. Dit lyk na Jandre Skeepers. Jandre Skeepers van die aangee wegkry. Skitterende rugby Garsfontein, maar die beweging wat skibreek lê. En Zander Du Plessis wat weer opgetel het daar vir Grey College. En dit lyk of Grey College vir Garsfontein daar oor die kantlyn gewerk het, maar skitterende werk deur Garsfontein. En die teller bly onveranderd op die stadium met 29 vir Grey College en 12 vir die Garsfontein Beere van Pretoria.
Gray took the ball out after that great tackle. And Garsfontein get the ball back. Apollos, what can the man do? Feeds the man on the outside.
That's good defense by Leslie Botha. Kali Collins had nowhere to go, and a great drift defense there by Grey College. They did leave the gap for Diego Apollos, but everyone just shifted over, and even the mercurial talent of Diego Apollos couldn't do much, as we've got our screen back here after all the rain in the commentary box as well, with Andre Higu Venter, son of former Springbok Andre Venter, getting ready to feed the line out for Grey College. Grey College stuck in their own 22 at this stage. Beautifully taken in the line out by Grey College, right at the back. Great throw in these weather conditions. We see Ross Brody waiting for the ball into the hands of Franco Smith now, stepping off the right foot, setting up good second phase possession now for Grey College, giving Zander Du Plessis much more time to make his clearance, and a great clearance at that. And that is a classic exit play, Brendan.
Absolutely, no reason to take any chances in your own 22, especially when you're 17 points clear.
Ricardo Botha now with a feed for Garsfontein. Still on the attack. Good take in the front of the lineup. Yuri Klaasens out to Keegan Johannes. Diego Apollos on the dummy line. Beautiful defense. Franco Smith, Grey College, quickly over the ball. Garsfontein does recycle it, and a big carry up once again. Ricardo Gouveia getting knocked over in contact, and Garsfontein in the hands of Etienne Blanche at this stage. And still going, working with the leg strength. Garsfontein on a mission at this stage. Trailing Grey College by 29 points to 12. Carried up by Buitendach. Yuri Klaasens now to the blind side. Another strong carry up. Yuri Klaasens going straight through the middle on his own. He's well watched though, as the ball spills forward again, and Grey College boots the ball. Great chase up by Ian Small-Smith, and a good fielding by Etienne Blanche. Beautiful work by Etienne Blanche for Garsfontein. Yuri Klaasens once again, Garsfontein with the possession. Carried in by Austin. Klaasens once more into the hands of Diego Apollos. Trying to go on his own, but well watched in the midfield. And then the referee calling us back for a penalty to Garsfontein. Grey College went offside. Garsfontein getting the ball more and more straight into the hands of Diego Apollos. Looking for some Apollos magic, Brendan.
They're certainly looking for that, but Grey have targeted him and closed him down on most occasions. Maybe try use him as a dummy runner to draw a couple of defenders.
En Garsfontein wat weer die lyn staan. Net buite Grey College 22 kan voer. Ricardo Botha vandag tot dusver sy springers baie goed gevind in die lynstaande. En kom ons kyk of Grey College hierdie ene kan afneem. Dis Junior Snyman heel agter die lyn staan wat wegbars. Skitterende werk op die grond daar deur Leslie Botha vir Grey College om die balle effens stadiger te maak. En dan reg deur die middel is dit Garsfontein. Garsfontein se voorspelers wat al hoe meer in hierdie wedstryd begin inkom. En groot druk nou op die lyn van Grey College. Jurich Klaasens in die hande van Buitendag. Buitendag die hardloop hard en reguit. Goeie verdediging, dit lyk soos Gouveia daar vir Grey College. En dan sit Jurich Klaasens. En die skeieregter sê tweede beweging deur Jurich Klaasens. Hy het so as 'n ware onder deur een van die verdedigers probeer kruip. Nee. Die skeieregter wat die 3 toegeken het. Jurich Klaasens, ons sal graag op die kyk weer wil sien Jurich Klaasens wat as 'n ware onder deur probeer dryf het. En dit lyk of hy dit kon regkry. En na skitterende druk op die Grey College lyn is dit Garsfontein na 17,5 minute in die tweede helfte wat hulle eerste 3 van die helfte druk. En Keegan Johannes gaan nou kyk of hy die voorsprong kan laat krimp na 10 punte en hy maak so. Die doelskop is daar en Grey College wat nou voorloop met 29 punte teenoor 19.
Johan, I don't blame you. When he gave that try, it did seem like he was giving a penalty. I remember when I was a young ref, they told us, always give the penalty towards the side that's getting the penalty, or the try towards the team that's being awarded the try.
Yeah,
so the referee,
quite confusing.
And the way that the try was scored did look like a double movement. So, but anyway, Garsfontein benefit, and here we go again.
Long ball straight out to Diego Apollos again, and he burns Whitecliff Latour on the outside, puts in the little chip kick, and that's beautifully covered by scrum half Ross Brody. Such a talented scrum half is this man from Grey College. And then it's Swall Smith once again with another good carry, and a great clean out at the ruck time as well by Grey College. And maybe that try from Garsfontein has just waken up this Grey College Giants again. Xander du Plessis carrying on his own with a little dink through. Seen plenty of that tactic for today from Grey College. Now it's Jurich Klaasens. Great carry by Jurich Klaasens. And a beautiful following up, it looks like Jandre Buitendag. Garsfontein die is nou weer stewig op die aanval. Die binne, maar het lyk of Grey College die bal omgedraai het. Skitterende werk deur die pak voorspelers van Grey College. En in die hande van De Wet Maree. Nou in die hande van Franco Smit. Uit na Werner Gous en nou in die hande van Rian Brits. Rian Brits het een man voor hom met die steekskoppie. Hoe gaan die bal op? Skitterende werk Rian Brits. Briljante werk deur die neef van voormalige Springbok-slot Gerry Brits. En Rian Brits wat Grey College se voorsprong weer vergroot. Brandon, I was mentioning maybe that try just awoken Grey College again. And beautiful hands down the left. Couple of forwards involved as well. And then Rian Brits finishing it off beautifully.
A beautiful little chip and gather. The ball set up perfectly for him. The fullback going over.
Yeah, that was a scintillating effort by Rian Brits. But also the work done in turning over the possession of Garsfontein deep inside Grey zone half. A special effort by the Grey College back and forwards. And De Wet Maree and Franco Smith both having a hand in that try as well. Finished off beautifully by fullback Rian Brits.
Quick hands will always beat the man. That's exactly what happened there. They put Smith away, Brits away. And he did the rest.
Xander du Plessis lining up a difficult conversion. He's been striking the ball beautifully today. Comes forward, strikes with the right foot. It's curling back in. And another beautiful conversion by Xander du Plessis. Fly-off is on fire today. And Grey College leads by 36 points to 19. That man Diego Apollos will get the game restarted for Garsfontein. Got about 15 minutes left in this match. Nice hanging restart, and Grey College unable to control that one from the kick-in. And that's something they'll be wanting to take a good look at after today's match, is the handling of the kickoffs thus far. Ricardo Botha maar die ingooi vir Garsfontein. Goed bemeester agter in die lyn staan deur Buitendag. En skitterende verdediging deur Grey College. Dan sit Jurich Klaasens uit na Keegan Johannes. Keegan Johannes wat die bal op die voet sit. Rian Brits wat daardie bal verloor, maar dit was agtertoe. En skitterend reggemaak deur Rian Brits. En 'n fantastiese skop. Rian Brits wat skitterende werk doen. En kry vir Grey College terug waar hulle wil wees in die gebied van Garsfontein.
Brilliant kick there from Brits, putting them back deep into Garsfontein territory. Botha must find his jumper, but Gray steal another one. It goes forward, unfortunately. So Garsfontein with the scrum on the 15-meter line.
As we see M.J. Woodendal also on the field for Grey College. In fact, I see the number 22 jumper on the side of the scrum, so it cannot be M.J. Woodendal, who's one of the utility backs. We'll try and find out when that number change took place, and it might even be Peter Woodendal who's on the field. Yuri Clausen once again with a little break into the hands of Junior Snyman for Garsfontein. Beautiful work by the scrum of Garsfontein once again. And solid defense by Grey College in the backs. Garsfontein still going through the phases.
Ball ripped away by Gray.
And another big kick by fullback Rian Brits. And this ball is going to roll over the goal line. So it'll be an easy dot down for Garsfontein and a 22-meter kick in. But Grey College doing well to stay in the half of Garsfontein once again. De voorsprong van 17 punte. Met so ongeveer 12 minute oor in die wedstryd sal Grey College baie gelukkig wees om meeste van die speelwerk in die helfte van Garsfontein te doen. En ons is seker dat beide Zander Du Plessis en Rian Brits sal seker maak dat meeste van die wedstryde daar gespeel word. Dis die einste Brits vir die bal inwag. Een van die plaasvervangers nou ook op die veld in die agterlyn. Ross Brody. Hy kry die bal uit na die einste Brits. En dan Whitecliff Flatoor en ongelukkig is nie baie suiwer aangeen na Flatoor nie. En met die veld wat so 'n bietjie glad is, die bal wat aanskiet en Flatoor wat die bal vorentoe verloor. So dit is Garsfontein wat die bal kan ingooi in 'n vaste skram reg voor ons in die kommentaarhok op die middellyn van die veld.
Brits has been the man of the second half so far, but not a great pass there. Almost impossible for Flatoor to take. Garsfontein now, if they still harbour hopes of winning this match, they need to do something in the next couple of minutes. They've got the scrum on the halfway line. Johannes stabs it over. Apollos. He goes himself, Apollos. Is he going to go all the way? Yes, he will. The SA School Centre.
Absolutely beautiful work by Diego Apollos. That was definitely a rehearsed little chip move. Apollos taking it out of the air and then just too much gas for the Grey defence. And Garsfontein just never lying down in this match. And right back in it. They'll be 10 points behind if the conversion goes over. And there's another 10 minutes in this match. We're in for a pulsating end.
When you're behind, you want your stars to stand up. It's exactly what Apollos did. But huge credit to Johannes for the perfectly placed chip. He will now attempt to add the extra 2.
Skitterende werk Keegan Johannes, Diego Apollos, twee van die groot sterre van hierdie Garsfontein agterlyn. Tesame met Jurich Klaasens hou hulle vandag die Grey College span deeglik op hulle tone. En Keegan Johannes wat kyk of hy die ekstra 2 punte kan byvoeg. Ongelukkig is dit die bal wat regs verby is. En Grey College se voorsprong op die stadium 36 punte teenoor 24. Was ongeveer so 9 minute se speeltyd oor in hierdie wedstryd. Ons sien vir M.J. Viljoen ook op die veld hier op linkervleuel vir Grey College. Hy speel in nommer 24 try. En Pieter Dippenaar ook op die veld in die nommer 22 try. Dis die einste Dippenaar wat die bal jaag van die afskop af. En hy maak dit baie moeilik vir Garsfontein. Het lyk of Grey College die bal bemeester het. Baie goeie werk deur Dippenaar. Ross Brody kry hom uit na Zander Du Plessis. In die hande van Viljoen. Whitecliff Latour wat kontak maak daar. Nou is die Grey College voorspelers wat die bal wil opdra. Hulle sit die 22 nou van Garsfontein in die hande van Herman Achenbach. Hou die man dop, het ons gesê. Herman Achenbach. En hy is oor die duin. Skitterend Herman Achenbach. En wanneer laas het mense vaskop voor hy so met die bal sien naal. En deurgebars deur die eerste lyn van verdediging. En Jurich Claessens het geen prys gehad om te keer nie. Herman Achenbach, 'n man om dop te hou gedurende hierdie seisoen. En Grey College wat onmiddellik terugslaan en die voorsprong weer vergroot na 41 punte teenoor 24. En die manier hoe Zander Du Plessis vandag skop, kan 'n mens verwag dat dit 43-24 sal word.
I remember travelling to Grey with Glenwood in 2007 and seeing Kuni Oosthuizen running through Glenwood exactly like that.
That was very, very reminiscent of a Kuni at school, wasn't it, Brendan? Kuni Oosthuizen is one of the most fearsome sights ever on a schoolboy rugby field in South Africa. And also, back in the day, CJ van der Linne, they played a prop for South Africa. CJ van der Linne, incidentally, also ran in the Grey College relay side. And as legend would have it, could do the 100 in under 11, but I would say probably about 11.5. But for a 120 kilogram prop forward, that's not shabby at all.
Garsfontein get it back. It's now or never for the boys from Pretoria.
Jurich Claessens out to Austin. Another big carry by the Garsfontein pack forwards. Jurich Claessens going on the blind side. Beautiful little step by the scrum half, but well tackled by Ian Small-Smith. And Grey College looking to defend their line after just picking up more points. And Garsfontein looking to strike right back. It is Claessens. Buitendag waiting for the carry. And that pass not going to hand, but then Garsfontein doing well to recover. They camped inside the 22. As the referee, I think, got a call from the assistant referee there, as there was hands in by Grey College on defense, and Jurich Claessens just dabs that into touch, and a great attacking opportunity once more for Garsfontein. So we see another substitution coming on for Grey College. It's scrum half Thea van Rensburg, replacing the vice-captain Ross Brody, who had an outstanding game today as well. Both him and Jurich Claessens, the scrum half of Garsfontein, had great games, and what a battle it will be between those two at Craven Week also later this year. Garsfontein with the possession again, and it's that man Jurich Claessens. Zander Du Plessis quickly up on defense for Grey College. Doing well. It's Claessens out to Austin, but a big tackle by Grey College, and it looks like it might be a turnover, but the referee's got his arms out for a penalty. Claessens taking quickly, looking to go on his own, but stopped well in his tracks by Grey College. Looks like a big carry by Junior Snyman once again for Garsfontein. Garsfontein just a metre out of the Grey College try line. Ball comes out now to Diego Apollos. Going on his own, but good defense by Grey College this time on Apollos. And then the knock forward by Garsfontein. That was absolutely great defense, Brendan.
Good defense there. The player running too upright. Grey clear their lines. Wonderful kick from the back there.
Ja, Zander Du Plessis wat vandag nie 'n voet kan verkeerd sit nie. Die loskakel van Grey College wat 'n fantastiese wedstryd het. As ons hier sien hoe Kali Kalitz probeer om 'n vinnige ingooi te kan vat. And we just got news that the man of the match has well-deservedly been awarded to Grey College's fly-off, Zander Du Plessis. Du Plessis hardly ever put a foot wrong today, and even when the rain was bucketing down, really controlled the match, Brendan, and well-deserved award to him.
Absolutely no doubt about that. I'd say on the Garsfontein side, 8th man Junior Snyman with a good game. Garsfontein have played their part in this spectacle, as we see a yellow card awarded to Grey College.
That was definitely help from the assistant referees, and going back quite a few phases actually, and the yellow card awarded to one of the Grey College loose forwards. I think it was to Werner Gous, who came on very early in the match as a replacement to V.A. Steenkamp, and then the referee showing there was for a shoulder charge, and taken quickly by Garsfontein, and a big search for the line and over, and we'd like to see who comes up with the ball there, but a big search for the line by the Garsfontein pack, and Keegan Johannes taking the conversion quickly, and that makes the score Grey College 43, Garsfontein 31.
Just confirming who the try scorer was, definitely one of the front rowers.
Might be Gert van der Merwe, who scored for Garsfontein, and a big carry from the big man, and with about a minute and a half to go, Grey College 43, Garsfontein 31. Grey College would just like to make sure of things at this stage of the match, and Garsfontein will be throwing caution to the wind and running absolutely everything. So that man Etienne Tablanche, who also had another massive match, taken well on the 22 by Grey College. Garsfontein quickly spreads it to the left and carried out by Joandre Buitendag. And the ball pops out on the Grey College side, but illegally so, the tackler not rolling away. And one of the Grey College forwards also taking a knock to the head there. And Grey College is desperate to keep concentration in these last couple of minutes, as Keegan Johannes is not going to find touch this time. It is in die hande van Zander Du Plessis. Du Plessis uit na Rian Brits. Brits was baie gevaarlik op die teenaanval. En terug in die hande van Rian Brits. Hy ontduik nog so 1 of 2 verdedigers. Dan sit die plaatsvervanger skramskakel in die hande van Du Plessis. Du Plessis wat die oorkant se kantlyn opsoek, maar ongelukkig haal die bal direk uit. En met so 40 sekondes oor in hierdie wedstryd is dit Garsfontein wat weer eens die kans gaan kry om die bal in te sit en 'n aanvallende lyn staan in die Grey College helfte. And it's one against the throw by Grey College, as Zander Du Plessis, man of the match, picks up the ball, and a lot of replacements on now on the Grey College backline, as Garsfontein looks to hold Grey College up, and at this stage doing so successfully. And well done to the defensive system of Garsfontein, and Garsfontein putting Grey College under a lot of pressure in these last 5 minutes.
The referee still keeping the match going. Running time has expired. Of course, we are running a bit over. There was that long stoppage in the first half. One of the Grey players being stretched off. This should be the last play of the game. The full-time hooter has gone. Garsfontein will want to finish with a flourish.
Johannes into the hands of Diego Apollos. Beautiful offload by Apollos to John Ray Skeppers. But unfortunately the ball lost forward there by Garsfontein. And that should be the end of it. And it is. Grey College well-deserved victors over Garsfontein. In the third match or the fourth match of the day, Grey College beating Garsfontein by 43 points to 31. Brendan, pulsating affair. Great individual performances on the side of Garsfontein, but perhaps just better cohesion by Grey College and making sure that they come away victorious in their second game of the season.
Absolutely, Garsfontein will definitely surprise a few people this season. They played their part in the 74-point spectacle, but the juggernaut of Grey runs out comfortable winners at the end of the day. We'll be with you in a few minutes for the final match